Welcome to YouTooSpain, broadcasting live on YouTube. Happy King's Day to all of you. It's the very first live show of 2024, and it's also the very first of my new Expat Chats. I should call them immigrant chats, shouldn't I? That's one for the future. Anyway, this is where I introduce you to a guest with a really good story to tell that will hopefully enrich your lives and inspire you. So stick around for the whole thing and join in with the live chat, either wherever the live chat is, on whichever platform you're on, or in the comments below. You're all very welcome to YouTooSpain. Let's dance. Excellent. I love that at the end. Groovy, baby. Right. So before we get chatting, don't forget to sign up for free to the monthly newsletter that's on the website, YouTooSpain.com. The address is down there on the screen throughout the show. There's lots of stuff on there for you to read, links and resources too that you need for your move to Spain and for living here. It's very easy to navigate. Thank you to the two people that subscribed overnight. Also, a quick Happy New Year to our friends at Smart Currency Exchange. They're the loveliest people who have the best Trustpilot reviews of all of the currency companies, and I highly recommend them to fix you a forward exchange rate, which means, well, I'll wait for my mate Jack Wiggs to come back on the show very soon to explain. He's coming on in February, I think. Yes, is. But in the meantime, use the link below. You can get in touch with him for free, and to get a free account doesn't cost a penny, and it helps YouTooSpain out too. It's a win-win-win with the cherry on top. There it is for the first time in 2024. So without further ado, let's meet my wonderful guest for today. It's Maiken from Denmark. Good morning, Maiken.
Good morning.
Were you dancing along to the groovy theme tune there?
Yeah, it was a really nice song, and like you're gonna wake up, so it's gonna be perfect. So yeah,
it is. It was. I asked a friend of mine back in Leicester in the UK, where I was before we lived in Ireland, to write something for me that was Spanish enough, but had this kind of groovy beat. He's a real hippie with the long hair and the beard and all of the colourful clothes. So he put in his own little twist to it. So
well, that's nice. Yeah, I loved it. It was really good.
Excellent. So thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll find out your story in a minute, but first, just tell all of our watchers and listeners very briefly who you are and what you do here in Spain.
I will. Well, my name is Maiken, and I'm 35 years old, and I help people every day to get more energy and feel good in their body. And I do that by having workouts at the beach. And then I mainly actually work online, so people can be healthy and active from home, as I am myself. Yeah.
Brilliant. That's a very good summary. Yeah. So let's just find out who's on the live chat today and say hello. We have not many people on the live chat yet. There is a bit of a delay before they join. So good morning, Robbo. Happy New Year to you. And we'll wait for all of the others to come on. Maybe say hello to them later. So we had a chat earlier in the week. Excuse me, got a bit of a cough this morning. We had a chat earlier in the week about what brought you to Spain, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it, because it's kind of inspirational, and I'm sure it'll be useful as well to everyone who's watching. Tell us how it all began. So you were sitting there in Denmark. What made you say, all right, that's it, we're getting out of here?
Well, before we took that decision, we have been here a few times before, because I was employed in a call center as the chief of the department, and they had a department here in Fuengirola in Spain. So I used to come here down, and we of course wanted all the meetings to be in Spain because it was more lovely than Denmark. And then I was on maternity leave after I gave birth to our second child, Oliver. And I knew that I wasn't going back to the job that I had because it was too many hours. And my partner had his dream job, but unfortunately he just got fired from one day to another. And then I still remember as it was yesterday, because he texted me on his way home that now Spain just got closer. And we hadn't spoken about Spain for a long time. So I was like, did the continent move or what happened? Did I miss something in the news? I didn't get it at all until he got home and say, well, unfortunately, I lost my job today. So why not look into this Spain thing now? You're not going back to the job you want. I'm free now to find something else. So, well, quick things turned around. And then 3 months after, we stood in Spain with our 2 kids and 38 boxes packed down. And that was it.
Wow, that's a very, very quick move, isn't it? 3 months. Was it difficult to move so quickly? Did you have any property to sell or anything, or you had close friends and family you didn't want to leave?
Well, of course, the family and friends was the hardest thing, but as I knew, it's only 3.5 hours of flight, and because I'm the one person that it will solve it, everything will be all right. And of course, we had challenges because we have a house in Denmark, but we was not ready to sell it. It was more like, it's not because we wanted to move back, because we took the decision that we're going to move to Spain and we're going to stay there as long as it makes sense. So we had to rent the house out, but that went really quick and easy. We sold everything we had in the house. The only thing we bought was the kids' toys and bed and so on, because we wanted them to have something familiar and new. And because I had a really good friend, he's still a good friend of mine, and he was also my old boss when I used to work in the call center. So I called him up and said, Michael, do you have a job for me? Because now I'm ready to move. And he helped us a lot. He was a really good friend to help us out. So he found an apartment that we could live in, and they helped with all the registration and so on. So he made it easy for us.
That must have been. I mean, when you decided to move, was that phone call was after that, presumably? So that all happened in a really short space of time. You decided to move, and then you sorted the job out. That's a bit dangerous, isn't it? You didn't have the safety net when you made the decision.
No, and we went down here, like I went down to have the chat with him, the job interview, and heard about the possibilities. But because I was so determined to move, I would have taken, like, I just had a job that would be perfect. So we knew we had something. And then Jacob, my partner, flew down here a month later and had a look at all the kindergarten and for the kids. So we found a place for them as well. But nothing happens easy without, there's always like challenges. So
Yeah, I was going to say, how was all of the paperwork? You say your new boss sorted a lot of it out for you, so you didn't have to employ someone. And was there any paperwork problems or nightmares?
Yeah, there was. There was, and there was not because we knew nothing, and now, well, they used to sort it out because they had a lot of people from Denmark that was flying into Spain so they can work from Spain. So we had one that dealt with the NIE number, which was like easy, but you had to turn up on the police station to get the NIE number and so on. And Jacob's Spanish was not very good. So he said no at the wrong time, and then we was sent out and then had to make a new appointment. That was like 1 month later. And, it was just a circus, to be honest. So yeah, but we got the help we needed. But now, 4 years later, I am so much more clever. And to be honest, if I knew that there were people that was actually dealing with it that can do it, I would have contacted them, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. The NIE number, by the way, for watchers, that's the NIE, or in Spanish they call it the NIE, I think, as well. So yeah, so that's a number you're very familiar with, I think.
Yeah.
So just hello to Alicante and Explorer and Mr. Lower Largo. Thank you for joining us on this first show. So then what happened? You've arrived, you've sorted your paperwork out, you're in a new job. Did that start really, really quickly? So you had to throw yourself into the new job while you were only just moving in?
Well, we had 1 month, like we moved in August, and I started the job in September, and that's where the kids started the school. We call the school in Spain from they're 3 years old. So so we had like 1 month to just settle down. But when we arrived to the apartment, we knew right away this is not where we're gonna live. It was in the middle of the city. And we had like really big troubles by getting the oldest one to sleep. I spent like 1.5, 2 hours every evening. And 10 o'clock, that's where all just like put the horn down right in front of our door. So like waking up all the kids again. So we was like, very quickly we knew this is not where we're going to live. We started to look where to live after that. And the paper was okay. Then we needed a car. And we bought we had like a rental car for a long time because we didn't know how, where, and when. And this has just been very expensive, to be honest. And then Jacob got a job like 2 months afterwards. So that was kind of nice, So things started to work out, but it also started to become a little more complicated because it was not just what we saw it was. There was like just a few small challenges. But we found a house and we moved in, and the kids were happy to be in the kindergarten. Jacob had got the job. I have bought my boss's oldest car, so we have a car now. He was a trust person, so of course believed that it was a good car we bought. And like 6-7 months later, it just went down. Then
what happened?
Well, first of all, my job closed down. So I didn't have any job.
Wow.
And,
what a shock.
The car broke down. So
no.
So now we were here 7 months into Spain, and we just we just got settled, and we just started to maybe enjoy the life a little bit. And in the meantime, or actually since we moved to Spain, I have been trying to take care of my own body and get back on track. And I was helping a few friends to get healthier and happier with me. And then I went to this event we have in Denmark, where I heard all the stories about how you can build your business and you can help a lot of people and so on, and by doing this fit challenge. So, but when I was at this event, I got the call from my boss saying that I'm so sorry, we have to close down, so there's no salary for the first.
Wow. Oh, that must have been a big shock. You're not even in the country and you're thinking, I've got kids in school. Am I going to have to move out? Presumably you've got a long-term rental contract at this point, which you can't get out of easily. Did you think,
well, we have one.
We have to move back to Denmark. Or did you think?
Oh, no. Yeah, see, that was the first thing people were thinking. This is actually kind of fun, because when we started to tell people I just lost my job, then they said, oh, well, then you're going to come home and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, no way. Because our boys was so stressed by moving that I promised myself and Jacob that we are not going to move back unless it's like there's no way out. So that's why we went back and took this inspiration to build up like the healthy, active lifestyle here in Spain. So we started the Fit Challenge on the beach, and we started, bring people in, have a wellness evaluation and so on. And this happens in February, March 2020.
Yeah.
Remember that date?
I vaguely remember 2020, yeah.
2020 was just a lovely year, right? So I was all excited, just like, now I'm going to build my own business. I'm not going to have a boss ever again. And, really. And then 3 weeks in, boom, go inside. And it's just like, what? I remember one thing is to like find solutions. I can deal with that. And I did find, we just went online. But the thought of being inside with my 2 boys for 14 days was actually the worst part, because they were small, they were crawling on the walls, and they were like, had this high energy. It's just like, oh my God, how can I do a job and be a mom at the same time? And Jacob had a job as well. So the first 14 days, we took a little chill because it's only 14 days. They said only 14 days. I still remember. They promised 14 days, then we're going to get out. And like 1 week in, we were like, oh, we're going to take 14 days more. And then I started crying. Like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, no.
And they were quite tight here, weren't they, in Spain? They were patrolling the streets and stopping people from going around. Yeah. Whereas in places like Ireland and the UK, they'd let you go around in, as long as you stayed out of people's way. You could go a couple of kilometers on walks and things like that, but not in Spain. Yeah.
In Spain, it was like a house arrest. You were stuck inside. You were only allowed to go out to grocery shop, one person, and if you had to go to the doctor or buy medicine. So we came to the point where we were like, scissors, rocks, and paper to who could go out and shop. And we had no stress. I had no stress when I was out shopping because there was no kids, there was nothing. It was like free time, go out to grocery shop. So it was just like, to be honest, a nightmare. We were not allowed to go anywhere. But this is where I started the online business. So I started to, help people in Denmark because everybody was stuck at home. We did the Fit Challenge online. So we were on Zoom twice a week and doing workouts from home. And, people were really happy and thankful for what we did because they could like stay healthy during this lockdown. That was like, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that what drove you on then, or is there something else? Are you naturally the sort of person that's got some drive?
Oh, I got a huge drive. I always see all the possibilities and never the limits. Yes, I can be knocked down sometimes, but I'm like, no way, I'm just going to continue. So this was the biggest drive I had was our 2 boys, that we were not moving back because they actually started to be happy and loved the school and so on. And while we were in lockdown, we got the message that the school we found for the kids, they had to close down because they didn't survive the lockdown. Wow. So now we had to find a new school afterwards. And that is like starting all over again. And what we did, and we came out, but we kept coming out of lockdown was like, I still remember the time frame from 6 to 8, the runners could go out. From 8 to 1 or 12, the kids could go out. From 12 to 1, the elderly could go out. From 1 to 7, the kids could go out. And from 7 to 9, we could do exercise again. That's how it was for like 2 weeks. It was crazy. And then if you had to take a run, I'm like an active person. And I still remember I had to, my first run, I was almost crying of feeling the freedom, but still not, because there was like, there was this limitation of only 1 kilometer from your home. Oh, okay, so I'm going to run back and forth like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we managed, we survived. We started the online business, which is actually 80% of what we do today. Still, It has a huge, it's the biggest thing. But people still like to be home and be happy and healthy. So
yeah. Where do you think you got this the drive from? Have you always been like that? Did you get it from your parents?
Well, I think I had a turnover in my life. Like when I was 18 years old, I watched this documentary or movie called The Secret, because I was so low in life. I was like a really negative person. I was always complaining, and I didn't have any money. And, I was like one of these people that just sucks your energy out. Wow. And then there was this really nice lady I met that introduced me to The Secret, the law of attraction, that what you have today, you have attracted yourself. And I still remember when I saw it the first time, I got really angry. I was like, that's just, no, that's not true. This is not my fault. It's everybody else's fault. I was still that. But since then, I've been really managed to use it. I believe that everything I do and every person that comes into my life comes in for a reason. So since then, I've been like, if I'm saying I'm doing this, I'm taking this on and just do it and make it work. Yeah. And I think I have a little from my dad, because he's the most stubborn person I ever met, to be honest.
That does help, doesn't it? A bit of stubbornness thrown in there. You can, if you're especially doing exercise, you've got, when you're at your most tired, and when you're thinking, no, that I've done enough, I can't do any more. You've got to work through it, haven't you? Yeah.
But it's also, I still need someone to push me. So I still have my own coach, like I'm a coach for everybody else. So we still have one to stand up for and accountability, but my biggest accountability partners is my family, because whatever I do to make them happy. Yes, we could just have taken the decision to move back, but that was not an option in my world. It was not. It was too easy. Can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So no, we stayed, and then of course we came out and everything, and we follow all the rules, but it was like 1.5 years was just like really like challenging. And while we were,
did you immediately start working? What do you call it? Non-virtually? There must be a word for that. Offline. That's
offline.
physically in the same space.
Yeah. But we started going back on the beach when we could go out. But we were like with mask on, and we had to have distance, and there was all these rules all the time. So we were like, we used more time on actually following the rules than what we did on having fun with people on the beach. But we were just so determined that this had to work, and we wanted to build it up. And when we came out of lockdown 1 year later, it must have been, then I got this sad news that my dad was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's and that's made my drive go even more, because I wanted to travel. I wanted to be able to travel whenever I wanted and how I wanted, but we still had these restrictions and so on. So even if I was in Denmark at this time with my dad, I could not be with him because he was sick and I had to wear a mask, and so on. But it was a really, really tough time. But that made my drive go even more. He is cancer-free today. We have celebrated lots of time. But it was also kind of wake-up call, because I have a lot of dreams. And one of my biggest dreams is to travel with my dad and, have all these adventures with him before he gets too old.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
well, I'm very glad he got better. It's good to know.
He's stubborn. I said so. He's very stubborn. He was determined that he's gonna get out of this, so he did.
Yeah, he's not going to let go at all. That's good.
No.
Yeah. I think about this after my health scare. I thought I've been describing it on my weight loss diary, video diaries that I've been doing. That I won't go into it too much here, but because I'm talking about it on the diaries. But there was the possibility of cancer was there, and that really is a kick up the backside, isn't it? I think for a lot of people, just thinking about mortality. Yeah. I didn't think about it. I always used to think I'm 25 years old until I was in my 50s.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, with all of the hair gone, and now it's not even growing back after I shaved it now. It took me a lot longer than a lot of people to start thinking. People go, "Oh, I'm 30 now, that's the end of it." And then they go, "I'm 40 now, and that's the end of it." "Oh, I'm 50 now, and that's the end of it." I got to all of these targets and went, yes, I'm going to, I'm still young, I'm still fighting. And then suddenly the eyes started to give away, and I started to feel more pains and stuff. And now I'm talking about the operation that I'm going to have next week and things like that, just like all of the other old people. And so it hits you. And a lot of the people that watch this show, they're in this kind of age group, because that's the sort of people that are moving over here to Spain.
Yeah.
And I think we'll talk about that afterwards, actually, after the halfway point. We'll talk about what the sort of age of clients that you're getting, and especially from the UK, because there's a certain attitude to that. Yeah. Just need to say hello to Yogi. He's there on the live chat. He says, "Love your weight loss health diary. Thanks very much for watching it. I've not set a particular day of the week for it. I've actually released 2 in the last week, so it's been a week full of videos. And thank you for watching along. And I think I'll make another one for possibly Monday, because I've got gigs this weekend and I haven't got time to put one together before that. And I'll tell you how I'm feeling on the lead up. And you probably won't want to see what happens to me on Wednesday, because that's going to be the me flushing out my body in advance of having the colonoscopy. So that'll be exciting. I don't think I'll make a video of that. That's
you sure?
Well, I might. There's only one person so far who's reacted to me saying, "How much should I show of this? How much do you think I should show of it?" There was only one person who said, "No, I don't want to see any of that." Everybody else has gone, "Just show what you want. It's your channel, it's your decision, and we'll follow along and support you," which was a bit of a shock to me, because I thought a lot of people were going to go, "Yeah, I don't want to watch that." But everybody has been really supportive.
Your journey is encourage people and to make them more believe that they can do it themselves. Sometimes they just need to find the way before they're ready. But your story and what you're sharing is actually what makes people come closer to like, okay, then I can do it too. So sometimes I think it's a good thing to show also the backside of what is happening. That maybe seems so nice, maybe not all in pictures, but telling and sharing everything that is not always like, woohoo, it's just going great and blah, 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 which is like, the diary thing is about, isn't it? To show everything around it. Like,
yes, Showing the backside is what it's all about. I don't know if you use that expression in Denmark. Really. The
No.
backside is the arse.
Oh, well, in Denmark, it's like the backside of the medal. Like you see the medal, but there's always like something on the other side. So it's a completely different. Talking
Yeah.
about saying weird things in English, huh?
Yeah. We were talking about that, weren't we? What's
Yeah.
the? Oh, we'll come to one of those later. I think I've got it written down in my notes. Yeah. What we'll do is then we'll go to. We've come to the halfway stage, and as always, I have the little advert all about what's available to YouTooSpain fans. So let's go to that, and that'll be a couple of minutes worth of loveliness from me and my alter egos, and we'll see you all back after that. Won't be long. This show is very helpful to you, isn't it? And you're enjoying it too. Then click on the thumbs up, you lazy colonel. I don't have any thumbs. You can use your nose, Doogie. And don't forget to subscribe as well. And rub on the bell for notifications while you're there. It's all free. Information is valuable. I need a coffee to keep my pecker up. So why not show your appreciation by buying us a coffee or 3? There's a link in the video description below. No, use the QR code. I own the company, you know. No, you don't, Colonel. It's there for the whole show, sweetie. Just point your camera phone at it. But wait, if you think all the help and information and entertainment you get here is worth more than just a few coffees, you can support YouTooSpain with a regular monthly amount. They're not getting my money. You don't have any, Colonel. You live in a hostel. There's a link to Patreon where you can find out what extra groovy movies you get by helping out. Oh, I'm all a quiver. One more thing. Get on with it. There's a guest waiting. Goodness knows why. The beautiful watchers are waiting too. And the ugly ones. That's enough, Colonel. There are lots of vital things that YouTooSpain gets you access to. And discounts too. What things, Master? I like things. Well, do you need private healthcare insurance? Of course I do. This gout won't go away on its own, you know. Do you need a visa or residency, sweetie? Do you need to exchange currency? What about finding a property like mine? It's huge and expensive. Just like me, darling. Blah! Or do you need advice on tax and pensions? I don't know what they are. Or do you want a Spanish mortgage? Or a discount on getting documents translated and apostilled? Or a lawyer to sort you out? I didn't do it, wasn't me. Do you need a lovely little app for learning Spanish? How about finding the best mobile phone provider? Buy a YouTooSpain t-shirt. It's a win-win-win. You can even get discounts on full mouth dental treatment and get a new smile just like Skatz. Smile! All of the links are here, down below, sweetie. If you can't find them, ask me in the comments. Are you finished yet? I need to go and kick some servants. He's not a very nice human. No, he's not. But let's get back to the show, shall we? Back to Skatz in the studio. That was my line. Oh, stop being beastly and be a good little boy. I am a good boy. You are, Doogie. Back to you, Skatz. Thank you, Skatz, and thank you, Walter, and Dick, and the Colonel, and Doogie Dog for joining us. If you have any questions for any of them, ask in the comments, and I'll see if they're free. Did you enjoy that, Maiken?
I enjoyed it too much. Holy, you're amazing, Skatz.
Thank you very much. Good. Let's see if we've got any questions.
All of you are amazing.
all of me, yes. All of my
you.
multiple personalities.
I love that.
Excellent. Well, so no questions on the live chat, and I don't think we got any questions. I didn't check this morning. I should have checked, see if there were any questions come through from Facebook. But so if I've missed any of them, very sorry, everyone. But you can always ask them after the show. Ask them underneath the video, or ask again on Facebook, and we'll get the answers for you. So, where did we get to in the story? We're almost up to date. I tell you what, tell us more about the Fit Marathon. Is that all online?
Yeah, that's all online. And the Fit Marathon is 10 days focus with the absolutely most amazing community where we all help each other, motivate each other, lift each other. Because as you know, you're on your weight loss journey yourself, but sometimes it can be difficult to hold up the motivation. And sometimes we feel like we're all alone or it's too hard and so on. And this is why we use the Fit Marathon, because it brings people together, but it also lifts up this motivation. So when people are feeling down or having a bad day, we are like cheering for each other and say, come on, you can do it. You are halfway your goal or whatever, and that's the whole spirit of it. So, but it is 10 days because people can commit for 10 days. And it's not like there's no rules. Of course, if you want to be healthier, you need to take healthier choices. And then we have 4 days off where we're like not going all in on being bad, but maybe more loose about what we do. And then we have 10 days again, And this is why we call it Fit Marathon, because a lifestyle change is not a quick fix. It's not a quick weight loss. It's a marathon where we change small things every day and so on. So yeah, but definitely the community is doing the thing. Really.
That's really important, I think, because my lovely wife Liz is also on a bit of a weight loss regime as well, and it's important. We know from the lockdown when we did this the first time and did the keto and intermittent fasting, that when I reached my goal in the October of 2020, Liz still hadn't quite reached hers. So she had a few more pounds to go. The minute I stopped mine, there wasn't kind of the same, I was still supporting her, but there wasn't the same drive that I was showing to Neo, because I was just maintaining from that point. So I kind of relaxed a little bit, and that meant that she didn't feel the same support that she'd had before. Yeah. And the same, like we were standing side by side and going forward to a goal. So this time we have to make sure there's still a goal that I'm aiming for while she carries on. If I get there first, I mean, it might be that she gets there first this time, but so maybe I've decided already it's going to be some kind of maybe weight training, some kind of toning up, something else that doesn't involve losing weight, because once I reach that target, then it's going to be about measuring the inches or measuring the tone. Get myself a 6-pack maybe for that. I'll be the first time in my life if that happens.
Oh, go for it, Skatz. You can do it. But yeah, so that's what the Fit Marathon basically about. And because we work with the Herbalife breakfast program, that's a part of that is including. But we all have the breakfast program, but when I share my own, I actually think I forgot to share my own health journey, to be honest. But
go on. Yeah.
I can do that. So basically, I had given birth to 2 kids. And that's not where you come out and just be like, ta-ta, I'm all fit again. Because as I think people now know, like I'm all in or nothing person. So when I got pregnant, I actually decided that, okay, I'm going to get fat. So I'm just going to get all in. And I did. I gained a lot of kilos. I think I gained 25 kilos with William. And then he didn't weigh 25 kilos when he came out. That was a big one, to be honest. So when then I got pregnant again with Oliver 6 months later. There's only 16 months between our boys, and I gained more, and I gained 15 kilos after that. So I was like kind of a big girl, but the worst part was I had no energy. I was completely tired, and tired, and you have 2 small kids. You're not like the most nicest person in the world. I don't know if you have the commercial in the UK, but we have this Snickers commercial once where like ready to eat when you're hungry, and that was basically me 24 hours a day. So Jacob, my partner, he deserves a medal to be with me this part today because I was not very nice. So I was looking for something that could give me the energy back. I didn't even have the energy to start a weight loss journey, because all I knew about weight loss back then was like it took some energy and it would take some more effort, and I didn't have that. So I had followed a friend on Instagram for like 5 years or something like that, and she kept showing like these annoying and energetic persons, like they're like too much energy. Become one of those, and I was like, okay, what is going on? Can you tell me about what you're doing? And she told me that she had changed her breakfast. And then I thought, okay, if I can change my morning coffee for something that gives me that energy, I'm in. So so she introduced me to the Herbalife breakfast program and showed me a meal plan with like 5 meals a day. And I was like, are you sure I'm going to eat all of that? Because I kind of want to lose weight as well. It's not only the energy. Yeah, you will lose weight because you need to put nutrition on your body. So I started, and within a week, I just felt like really good in my body. I started to have the energy back. My stomach started to work again, and the sweet tooth was gone. So to be honest, I haven't really looked back since the first week, because I have never in my entire life eaten so much food that I am today and felt this great. And I have maintained my weight for the last 3 years. But my weight loss journey was like, the feeling of like the kilo is sneaking on you. And like, what happened? And for me, it was the opposite. It was sneaking off. And it was just like, okay. So today, way more than I did before I gave birth, but my clothes are smaller. And that I love. So I'm actually just inspiring other people to do the same as I am myself. The Fit Marathon is all about eating and put nutrition on your body. And we start the day with the Herbalife Breakfast Program. So, and I think right now we are in total 140 people, something like that, on the Fit Marathon, the round we are going now. It's the New Year's
That's
resolution.
great. Yeah. Well, let's talk about New Year's resolutions, actually. It's the last day of Christmas now, officially in Spain, although I guess, New Year in the UK is the sort of time when everybody goes, oh, no, look at me now.
It's the same in Denmark. Don't worry.
Yeah. And everybody's overindulged. They're feeling guilty. And of course, all of the holiday adverts come on the television around about Christmas and the New Year. And everybody goes, I need to sort out my bikini bod. Is this the time when you get a lot more bookings then?
Yeah, I think the busiest time of year for me was actually between Christmas and New Year's, because this is where people need to, the people are like, okay, I need to have a plan when we jump into the new year. So I had like a wave of people that want to join and friends, because those who were doing the Fit Marathon were like bringing friends in that they wanted, oh, my friend wants to do it with me in the New Year's, can you join? And everybody gets this one-on-one conversation with me where I go through their lifestyle and give them some suggestions of what they can do. And then they get the meal plan. And after that, they can choose if they want to join or not, but hopefully they learn something new. And I had 39 of these conversations from the 11th of December to the 30th. So it has been very busy, to be honest.
I bet, yeah.
We're taking the second wave, because now people are like, oh my God, I didn't have a plan. What do I do? Yeah.
Do you think that it's a common story that New Year's resolutions don't work because people set themselves up with this big plan and they go, and within a week they've gone completely the other way and they fail and they're disappointed. Yeah. So it's a difficult time of year for keeping up with exercise, for example. It's, the nights are still dark and long. And so how do you keep everybody going and yourself?
Well, the Fit Marathon, because it's the community. We are accountable for each other. We have in the Fit Marathon, we are in a group of 9 people. And we have a group chat, and here we share our food, we share how many steps we have been doing when we do workouts and so on. But we also share the goal that we have for the next 10 days, because when you say it out loud, it's easy for you to actually commit to it, because it's not you yourself. I told myself to do this, but I didn't tell anyone, so I can just stop doing it. So they share their goals. And then what we have in the Fit Marathon, we have morning activation. Every morning from 6:30, where we get up and just start moving the body around. So basically that's the exercise, and then we have the exercise in the flip book that we do every day. So and now, Skatz, I have to run downstairs because my battery on the computer is not working.
Oh no, you might run out of power. Yeah.
Just give me 30 seconds while I'm running.
Okay.
I'm going to mute.
No worries. Oh, that's never happened before on the show. Although we have had a problem once when the power went out in our house, and fortunately Liz was on it, and she reset the power. But it meant my computer in the office went off, and that was a really mad time. Because I didn't know that the power had gone off, and it was only for a moment. But and I think it was a show that when Chris was on, so that really helped. Oh, she's back already. Fantastic.
I'm back.
I was just
Sorry.
chattering away. So good.
But I was actually afraid of like losing the power as well, because sometimes we had last week like power cuts in the house. So it was like, not today.
I was just talking about that to the watchers. I was just at that.
Yeah, I heard. So I was like, yeah, please talk about that.
Oh, that was a big shock. I was, I'd heard before moving to Spain that the power is not as good, especially if you're up in the mountains, and that you can expect power cuts. So I've always been a little bit nervous of that. But fortunately, the stream actually keeps going in the background, because that's online, and that's in Restream is the name of the software. But that's all online on the cloud, so that keeps going even if I go offline. And it keeps broadcasting, so I have to quickly get back online and jump back on. So if that happens to you, then you can do the same thing. You just hit the link again, but it makes for an interesting show. And
yeah. So, but about accountability and staying, because it is actually what the magic is in the Fit Marathon, that you are accountable. But we also see that people that have friends with them, or I have this lovely girl, Emily. She has her mom and her husband and her friend in the Fit Marathon as well. And every time they are almost every time one of the winners, because they're like competing against each other, and they know each other. So when people bring people in the Fit Marathon, it's where we see higher results, because they're like, well, okay, I brought my friend in, now I need to step up again and be serious about my goal. So that's the magic of it, that you're never alone.
So they've got two kind of communities. They've got the community online, and they've got their home, and there's the competition element as well, if they're competitive.
Yeah. And most people are a little competitive, even though they say they're not, but they are. So yeah. And then we always, after the 10 days, because it's you have to weigh yourself every day, not because the weight has to go down, but because you learn so much about your own body. When you see like, oh, you didn't get enough sleep, or you didn't get enough water yesterday, it's the small things. And for me as the coach, I can help more and guide more if I can actually see how unstable your weight are, because it needs to be stable, not like 800 grams up and 900 grams down. Like that's not a healthy weight, to be honest. So that itself, and then after the 10 days, we have a winner on the team, the one that lost the most. And this is why I made a man team for themselves this time, because men lose just more kilos than women does, and they're so annoying to have on a team.
Yeah, I bet. And it's more regular as well. It just seems to, whereas with women, it seems to, I've noticed with Liz, it's more up and down, because there's hormones involved, and water retention, all kinds of things.
Exactly. So I'm actually cheering for Liz, because it's not funny to be on a journey with the husband, because the husband just sometimes, boom, they lost the belly or something like that. And they say, what happened? I'm doing the same thing. Say, yeah, but you have a woman's body. I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's very normal.
I'll play her back this part of the video, so she gets your support.
Absolutely.
We were talking about the thumbnail picture that I've used for this video. We were talking about that earlier in the week. It's if everybody must have seen it on YouTube, it's really colourful, and it's quite 1980s. Everybody's in the leg warmers and the multicoloured outfits, which is quite a coincidence. I chose the picture before actually speaking to you during the week, but then you told me about this a 1980s fancy dress fitness session you did, and it was filmed. Yeah. It was filmed for one of the TV shows, one of the UK Moving to Spain TV shows, wasn't it? Tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, it's when we have finished the fit challenge that we did on the beach, we always ended it with a 1980s theme. So we had to dress up in like very colorful clothes, and maybe and it was always so much fun, because I remember some people went all in, like, okay, you're just taking out of the video from the 80s or something like that. So when I saw the pictures, like, have you been watching the what we do? All the other workouts, we look normal. It's just to celebrate that we have ended the 8 weeks, and then we did like this 80s theme. It was really fun. Like people were like very much dressed up, but it's also kicked the view out. Like if some people are like, nah, maybe I'm going to skip that last workout because I don't feel like. So we just end up saying, just bring colorful clothes. Everybody has something in pink or whatever. So yeah, but it's it has to be fun.
Yeah.
Having a healthy lifestyle is not boring. It should be fun, and that's what we do. No matter if we do the fit challenge or we do the fit marathon, it needs to be fun. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
people will stop. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we were talking about this again with people who move to Spain. They do it to have a fun lifestyle, but it's mainly the cafe lifestyle. It's the relaxation, the food, the wine. It's a whole lifestyle. Some of them do it for the walking and the cycling, but even those people, they plan that they finish their walk at a restaurant and they have a drink and a very long meal. So it must be really difficult to get people like that in their 50s and 60s to change the idea of enjoying Spain into being something that's fitness based, and health based.
Yeah. I found out it was maybe more difficult because if you take a look at Denmark, where I'm from, people is living in Denmark to have to make the life work. They go to job. They have this, you call it rat race. We call it in the hamster wheel. So they need a change in their life. But people move to Spain because that is their change of life. And it's more wine and cheese, to be honest. So it's difficult, or not difficult, but it's harder to find people that actually want to be healthy and active. The people I have met over the last 4 years in Spain has been lovely ladies in every age and their husbands and so on. But it always came down to a point where they had some health issues or they got some kind of a wake-up call. So that actually what I think is the sad thing about the story is that everybody has maybe needed the wake-up call before they took themselves serious. Because it's not, in my opinion, I can still enjoy life in Spain without drinking wine every day and have cheese. Not because I don't drink wine. I still eat pizza now and then. And so I'm not like a guru, like, these, I'm only healthy. Some people even get very surprised when I have a glass of wine. It's like, do you do that? I say, yes, I do.
Yeah.
It's a part of my lifestyle. I just don't do it every day. That's maybe the biggest difference. But to meet people here, there's people that wants to be healthy and active. And what we actually did, we saw this opportunity because there's a lot of places where people can be social, but every social activity I found in Spain was mainly like going to the restaurant or the cafe, having a glass of wine, ladies' lunch, very famous and very popular no matter where I went. So we wanted to build this healthy, active community where you could be a part of people that want to take care of themselves, which means that if people came into me and said, I want to lose 5 kilos, but I'm not going to stop drinking my wine every day, I really had to say no because I knew I couldn't help them because the alcohol is not good for your body. It doesn't mean that you cannot have it at all, but every day is just too much. Yeah. So, and that has been a little difficult in Spain compared to Denmark, where it's not like when I meet people, if we met people in Denmark and they say they're drinking wine every day, we're more like, are you alcoholic? But really, that's what we think. We're here in Spain, it's just like, oh, but you're out being social every day, it's more normal.
Yeah.
It is.
It's more than normal. It's almost expected,
Yeah. I had to give advice to some of my clients of like putting aqua con gas in their drinks glass that looks like champagne.
Yeah.
So people would ask them question why they're not drinking. And I was like, why is this even necessary? But it is necessary to give people tips and how about you can trick your friends so they don't ask all these questions, because the worst question you can get every time is, oh, are you on a diet? No, I'm just trying to take care of myself.
Yeah. And then they stop inviting you out because you're the one who's talking about being on a diet or talking about being healthy all the time. People don't want to know that when they're out enjoying themselves, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a shame, but it's again, I think it's about finding the right balance. It's not about that we cannot be healthy and active without having a glass of wine, but I think people think that going on a diet is like very strict. And that is one of the things that is very important for me. When I help people, I tell them, have one day a week where you allow yourself to have a glass of wine or have a piece of a candy or chocolate or whatever, because you will not go through life without. So please make it into your lifestyle now. So when you have reached, you don't change anything. You still keep eating. You still have a cheat day 1 or twice a week, because that should be a part of your lifestyle. If people go like all in, I actually sometimes force them, say, no, you need to have one cheat day, one day a week where you do something different, so you don't feel like you're saying no to everything. You can still
Yes.
go on parties and birthday and so on, but by having this stable blood sugar that we talk a lot about in the Fit Marathon, you don't have the sweet tooth, you don't have the cravings, and then it just becomes easier to go to all the events and the parties and so on, because you're not like grabbing everything that's on the table. You'd maybe just take a little bit and then you feel good. Yeah.
I'm so much of a sugar addict, and I'm really in the proper sense of the word addict, that if I did that with the sugary foods at least, then I just, it destroys everything, especially being on keto. It takes me out of ketosis, and then I have to go back in and everything the next day. So, I go to a birthday party and look at the cake, and I just want to bury my face on it and eat all the cream and stuff. And that's maybe just me. I don't know, but but I can do it with the wine, for example. I can allow myself that as a treat, or some kinds of foods that aren't so keto. So yeah, you're right. If you say nothing ever again,
Yeah.
that's not your diet, then yeah, it's easier to fall off.
It's a very much, and I think also that's why people can maintain it when we do the Fit Marathon, because to be honest, this is what the Herbalife Breakfast Program is doing to our body. It stabilizes the blood sugar from the morning, so we don't have the cravings, and we don't have. And I have this lovely lady that has been really a sugar addict, and when I told her this, she was like, "Yeah, we see how it goes, And then after 2 weeks, she was just like, because they have candy at her work every day, cake every second day. She works in a bank, so it's like their sugar. They need to pump the employees up with sugar. And she was like, okay, this is very strange, but I haven't touched anything. And it's not because I said that I couldn't, but I just don't feel like it. I said, there you go. It's because you have put the right nutrition on your body. So now you don't have the cravings. People think like it's because I'm a weak person that I feel like I have to have sugar. It has nothing to do with that. It's just your body craving for nutrition. So that's why it sends the signals to the brain. That's what I experienced myself, because I've always been like a sugar addicted. And, if I ate myself 25 kilos up through the pregnancies in cake, it was not a baby, it was cake I put on.
It's so easy, isn't it? When I did it in the months of November and December, I was looking
Yeah.
at the pictures of me on my poster, on my gig posters, and I've got this slim blue T-shirt on, and I looked really good back then, and that was only 6 months ago. So I know I can get back to it
You can
because
do it
I've done
again.
it because I've done it before. That does make it easier, although
Yeah.
it does mean that my life has been a series of getting heavy, must have a diet, heavy, but it's become better since the lockdown, since doing this
Yeah.
proper
I
thing.
think also the more times you go into like a diet, you found the more balanced one when you come out of it. Like, so because you've been doing it sometimes before, you find a middle way when you have lost the kilo you maybe want to lose, so you don't like go all back into it. Some people do, like because it goes up and down, and but yeah, it's as I say to people, there is because I work with Herbalife, I don't believe that Herbalife is the only right thing in the world. It's the right thing for me because it works. And it's the right thing for my clients because it works. But for some people, it's the right thing to do keto. For some people, it's low carb or whatever they're called. There's so many ways of having a healthy lifestyle. And I think the most important thing is to find something that suits your life and the way you want to live. and then you will get the results you want. Because if you go into something you feel like, I don't think I can do this for the rest of my life, or like, then it's not, stop it. Just stop and find something that works for you. And even though it may take a longer to get results, that's what I tell my clients. This is not a quick fix, but you will maintain them, because you will still eat when you have lost your weight or tighten up or whatever they want. You will continue doing what you do now, because that's what I've been doing. I've been maintaining my weight and my energy for the last 3 years, and it has been so easy. So it's but it's about finding the right thing for you, really. Yeah,
that's a good theme for this video. Find the right thing for you.
Yes.
Any more questions coming in on the live chat? There's nobody been chatting. I think they've just all been listening today.
We've been too
clever. Yeah. We've covered everything. So I find this when we're talking about people's life stories, there's not as many questions, because a lot of the watchers want to know about, questions that they need to know about moving to Spain. So, but they just listen, which is really, really nice. So, but if anybody has any more questions, all you listeners, then ask them now. There is this time delay. So while we're waiting for that, let me just remind you that if you have any more questions or comments after we go off the air, put them in the YouTube comments below. Don't put them on some random Facebook expat group, unless it's YouTooSpain's expat group, because it won't help enough people. Only I'll see your comment, and only I will see the answer, and you will see the answer. But put it here on YouTooSpain's YouTube, so that everybody else can get the same answers and get the help that they need for free. It's a win-win-win with a cherry on top. Here we go. We have Danish Hero Team. Or is that one of yours?
Yeah, I know them.
So what is your best advice for people who want great results in 2024 and become better versions of themselves? That's a really good question to finish with, yeah.
Yeah, I think it actually comes back to what I was trying to explain before. First of all, you need to find out what is the best version of you. You need to set the goal and find out, okay, if you want to lose, for instance, let's take this. I want to lose 10 kilos. That is where I feel like I'm the best version of me. Then you ask the next question, why 10 kilos? Why not 9 or 11 or 8? Why 10? Why is 10 so important? Well, I think because I've weighed that before, and I know I had a good feeling in my body, I had energy and so on. Okay, why do you want to have more energy? So you keep asking yourself the questions up to 9 times. So you come down to what I call the deep why. Because when you know the deep why, the way to do it is very easy. And then you find out what is the right thing to do for you. If it is to have some kind of diet or whatever, you do that. But as long as what I said before, find out what is best for you and what you feel like you can do. And maybe ask around. I had conversations where we found out it's not the right thing for them, what I can provide, but maybe they can find something else. And then, yes, of course, I'm more than happy to help. And this is actually, this finding your why is something I do with every single client I talk to, because we need to sit in the GPS. Why do you want this goal? Why is this so important for you? What would it mean for you? I have clients that have clothes in the closet that they can't fit anymore, but it's the backest, it's so far away, so they never see it, and say, bring it out, because you need to see it every single day. And then you need to put on your positive feelings to it, like how you felt when you were in that dress, how your energy was when you were in the dress. That is what you need to think when you see it, and then you see it every day, because then you have your goal. So that t-shirt, Skatz, you had talked about before, bring it out so you remember, because then we see the goal. And I think that is the most important thing. If you want to have results in 2024 and become the best version of yourself, you need to find out first, what is the best version of you, and why is this important for you?
Excellent.
And then you find the way after that. Yeah.
Brilliant answer. Yes, I'll get that t-shirt out. It's actually a very stretchy material, so it still fits, but I look very different in it. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's a good thing. And a lot of people, I guess, will get those clothes out and go, oh no, I can't fit in that now, and it'll be a negative reaction. So if you
But
can,
that's the thing about when we say, what we do is like 80% of your results come from what you eat, 20% come from what you do with the physical activities, but it's 100% mindset. So not only do we help you with the breakfast, but we also help with the mindset and to learn, because it's not something you just change from one day to another, but it's about the mindset of what you think about looking at the clothes. But as you said, that is that is the normal reaction. This is why it is in the backest of the closet, as far away as we all can get, because oh my God, I am too fat, I cannot fit into this pants, and then they just start to bump themselves in the head, where I try to turn it around and say, look at it and think of how you felt when you were in it, and you're gonna go back to get into those pants again, or the t-shirt. And then I actually say, if you have a picture of yourself, put that picture on the dress so you can see how you look in the dress, because that's where you want to go back, and then think positive, because what you think is what you get.
Oh, that's why it's easier for me, because I've got my gig posters. It's always the same image of me in that shirt.
Yeah.
There we go. That's good to know. That's that feeling that I hadn't realised I was getting. So good. We have another question on the live chat from Nikolai Marker. It's, how do you pronounce that name? Is that a Danish name?
That's the Danish name. It looks like Danish, but Nikolai Marker is, you said it right.
Yeah. What is the best part for you living in Spain?
Oh, the time. I feel like I have longer days with my family. It's when I talk to people in Denmark and it's 4:30, it's dark, and here it's still, the sun is out. Having the time to my family and having a warmer. It's right now snowing a lot in Denmark, so right now is where I remember why I moved. But it's for sure the time with my family that we have. It feels like we have longer days. And just be around my boys, being able to play outside. We have 2 boys with a very high energy level, so I think it's really good that we can go out. They are, by the way, at the skate park now while I'm doing this, because having them home while I was doing this was just too risky, to be honest. So yeah, best part is for sure the time and the time with my family, that we feel like we have more time because it's more light, it's warmer. Yeah,
and the ability to be outside more and
who
and
can make a
exercising.
barbecue in January or December in the UK or Denmark? Nobody.
It's very wet in the UK at the moment. Everybody's flooded, which is and here I saw a news item this morning saying that there'd actually been a bit of a motorway problem. There had been some car crashes. Nobody died, fortunately, but it was because there'd been some hail, some snow coming down, and visibility was reduced for a bit. And it was a bit of a shock. We don't often have snow down on the south coast, and there's some on top of the mountains, but and that's all you get. You just get a little bit of it. But we did have a bit of sort of stormy conditions, which is, I think, the tail end of what the UK are getting up there at the moment. So, but yeah, it's a bit of a shock, and that just shows that we've got that blue sky behind me. That's just from a photograph, but that's a lot more common, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's what I really love about Spain. I love the weather, and I love that we have more. It feels like we have longer days. It's not, we still have 24 hours, but we just, after eating dinner, we go outside and play. We still have the Danish time, for not so much on the Spanish by eating late and so on. We eat around 6 and then the kids go to bed around 8. That's not very typical Spanish, but that's just what we feel, because we go up early every morning. So we need to get to sleep in a good time, but it makes it more flexible and go out and so on. And see, it's the 6th of January and they have been out now for like 2 hours and they love it. They love being outside. I don't know if I think it's 2 years when we were in Denmark where there was snow, and the only thing William knew about snow was what he saw on Frost, the movie. So he just took it up with his bare hands and he's like, oh, es frío. It's cold because it didn't, on the movie and so on. So that was his first experience with snow. And then I think he was only out for 20 seconds. He got all the clothes on, everything. We were ready to go and play in the snow. He just stand like this and said, it's frío. I don't want to go outside. So I don't think William suits for Denmark.
Fantastic. So definitely there's no way you're moving back there, is there?
Oh. No, not
Yeah.
no. Now I
I'd
know
say
the family
that's
maybe be watching, but it's not a no forever. But as long as we have it good down here, we're not coming back.
no. I think you get that answer, Nikolai, from just about everybody down here. It's the weather is the big part, isn't it? The weather and the sort of quality of life that you get from having that regularity of weather. Certainly in the south of Spain, it's a bit different in the north. It's a bit more, slightly more like the UK, but
Yeah.
not quite as cold and not quite as damp. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's all of the questions on the live chat. Don't forget, by the way, everybody, to click on the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, so you'll be the first to know what's coming up each week on the live shows and the midweek video, and also on the new video diaries. If you've got any more questions, then do it quickly. We will have, let's tell you what's on next week's show. Quick drum roll. We've got, of course, those of you who know that every 2 weeks we have Chris from Upsticks. He's back. So yeah, we all know Chris. Maiken knows Chris because we're both in Business First. We've not even mentioned Business First. It's the business network team that we're in, and that's another example of people supporting each other and making life easier and business easier, just because it's a good community. That's next week when we're doing that. I've ordered no breakfast this time, so I'm gonna go back because I'm on the intermittent fasting. I was tempted every time on the Business First meeting, and I had the breakfast every week, and it meant that Tuesdays every fortnight I was off the diet suddenly, and that's partly what. Well, no, it's my fault that I stopped dieting and started eating sugary things, but it was the bread. Yeah. Bread is my nemesis. That's one of the things that I have to say no to, and possibly never again, along with cheesecake. Anyway, I'm rambling. Whenever I get cheesecake and bread in my head, I ramble. So anyway, so it's Chris from Upsticks next week. Have your questions ready, or just prepare yourself for a lovely New Year's chat. I'm not sure what we're going to be chatting about, but it'll be fun. You can ask on the Facebook page and group. Yeah, everybody. I want to start broadcasting the show, not just on YouTube, but on the Facebook page. Now, the Facebook page is a public one. There's also the YouTooSpain Facebook community. That's the private group. But join the Facebook page, YouTooSpain, and I need to have more people liking it. I don't know. You don't join. You like and follow. If you like and follow that page, then I'll reach a certain number of numbers, and then I can broadcast live on there. Because I know a few of you don't like watching on YouTube. You're not a member. You don't have your own channel, and it's a bit more difficult for some of you. And maybe you don't like using YouTube as much, and you want to watch on Facebook. So encourage everybody to join that one, and then we'll be able to help more people. So I thank you to everybody for watching, and huge thanks to Maiken for being a lovely guest.
Thank you for having me, Skatz. It has been really fun and not challenging, fun and learning.
Excellent. Well, you're welcome back anytime. We'll have you back later in the year, and we'll find out how things are going. Yeah. And so everybody, I will see you on probably the next time I'll see you on this YouTube channel is the next video diary, which I think will be early in the week. And then I'll see you for the Wednesday evening video. The following day is when I'm having the colonoscopy. So I'm sure that's what I'm going to be talking about. But if I don't see you then, we'll see you live next Saturday morning with Chris at our regular time of 9 o'clock if you're in the UK, Ireland or the Canary Islands, or 10 o'clock if you're in Spain or Central Europe, or 4 o'clock in the morning if you're in New York. Hello to anybody over there. Normally you watch it afterwards, but there you go. If you're watching live, then congratulations for getting up so early. So that's all for this week. Somebody pass around the New Year fitness cookies. I shouldn't be saying that. This is my catchphrase at the end. Somebody pass around the something cookies. Maybe I shouldn't be saying cookies now. Let's have some healthy food. So peace and love, everybody. We'll have one final message from everybody here at YouTooSpain, and see you next time. Bye for now. Bye, lads. Bye. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Peace and love. Peas and fluff. Oi, oi. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. One more cosmic dance? All right, then. Look, Mum, I'm dancing. Oh, I'm all a quiver. Let's dance.